which is faster, power or lightweight? In this video I'm going to compare two tunes side by side. On the left we've got the lightweight low horsepower version tunes 800 pp. On the right we've got the high power heavy vehicle tunes 800 pp, and we're going to run the Sardegna World Touring Car 800 to see what effect these two car tune characteristics have. The first stint running through the traffic at the start of this Sardegna race is going to be a little bit messy, but it gives us an indication as to how the cars perform, and certainly when it comes to tyre wear and fuel usage, we'll see how they behave and how we get through the traffic with the different way the cars drive. A little bit later in the video we're going to do a straight up last stint race to the finish line to see which car is the overall fastest, including some of the lap times. Coming up to the first visual checkpoint, check out the banner across, and almost exactly comparable between the two. The Ferrari there being passed by both cars, much easier to pass with the higher horsepower, higher top speed version. With the lightweight car you can brake much later. The 100-meter board was often my braking reference for the big braking zones, whereas in the high power heavier car on the right hand side I'd be looking to brake at the 125-meter mark each time. Through this kink especially, the lightweight car felt really good, really nimble, really agile, and you can go through with confidence. On the heavier, higher horsepowered car, it was always a little bit more sketchy going through there. Down the main straight, as you'd imagine, the higher horsepowered car gets it by quite a long way. A little bit of traffic on the left hand side there to clear the Corvette into the final corner, and we are using the Honda NSX 2008 model GT500 car. It's a great car to drive for this World Touring Car 800 Sardegna grind. Actually, I have a tune of the fastest version of this car at the end of the video. Coming into turn one, the lightweight car is just fractionally ahead there. A little bit of traffic compromised for us through that corner exit for the lightweight car. Overall, to drive, the lightweight car was a little bit easier because it didn't have the power to brake traction. Even the racing hard tyres which we're using on both of the cars, the lightweight car just didn't have the power to really brake traction on some of the second gear corner exits. With the higher powered car it was always a little bit sketchy exiting some of the tighter hairpins. Coming up to another visual checkpoint reference, I mean the banner across the track once again. The lightweight car fractionally ahead, but I think that's more down to traffic. Let's see how this one plays out as this video goes on. Top speed difference at the end of the straight is about 10 kilometers in favor of the high horsepower heavier vehicle on the right hand side, and actually that's a bit less of a difference than I thought there was going to be. After watching these videos side by side, you actually realize that the top speed in the lightweight car actually wasn't that bad. A bit of traffic with the lightweight car there, but we don't seem to suffer too badly on that one. Braking at the 100-meter board for both of these corners typically is where we're at, and lining up now, the heavier car seems to have got into the lead now. Bit of a compromised line for myself in the lightweight car on the left hand side into that final hairpin, and the heavyweight car is starting to stretch its legs. Coming across the line now with a 135.8, which is a monster lap time. 137 for the lightweight car, which I think is probably more down to driver mistakes. Skipping forwards now across the line once again, and the time difference is going to be in favour of the lightweight car. 136 is the best lap of the race, still a little way off the ultimate pace of the high powered car, but with all lap times being considered, we are almost bang on exactly where we are, like for like, in this race right now. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these two tunes so far. Which one do you think will turn the ultimate fastest lap time once we get to the end of the video? If you are finding this video useful so far, then make sure you smash that like button, get yourself subscribed to the channel, and ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And purple sector for both lap times there, pretty close for me. I think it's 0.1 in that first sector, and by the end of the lap, with a little bit of fuel less in the car, the lightweight car equals the best lap of 135.8, so it's hard to tell exactly which is the fastest car. It could be down to driving style so far. In the last stint of this race, which I'm going to run side by side again, I got my driving absolutely spot on as much as I could do. This first kind of stint was more just to get to the feel of the car, get myself dialed in, and the last stint was where I tried my hardest to do the fastest possible run. Skipping forwards now, the last corner before the pit in, and take a look at the tyre wear on the lightweight car. As you'd probably expect, it's worn the tyres a lot less. This is not quite so significant with regard to lap times, with regard to worn tyres, but if you want to push before the tyres fully run out, then this might be a way to tune your car to get a bit more tyre life. And then significantly look at the fuel difference. For both those runs, we were using fuel map 1, significantly more fuel in the lightweight, less power car. This is the final stint of the race. I've aligned the clips exactly, so as we exit the pits we are exactly aligned. It's a straight up race from now until the finish. Lightweight car on the left hand side, heavy high horsepower car on the right hand side. There wasn't too much traffic really to deal with. They did a good job of getting out of the way as good as possible. A few little hiccups here and there, but that shouldn't really affect lap times too much. Now straight away we are very close between both of the two cars. I'm going to keep an eye on sector times and also lap times through this last stint of the race. 5 laps to go in this Sardegna World Touring Car 800. Absolutely fantastic money grind for me. This is one of my favourite money grinds of the whole of Gran Turismo 7. And look, the high power car is ahead at the first visual checkpoint. That blue banner over it. Second one, again, much higher top speed. Again, 10 kilometers faster for the high horsepower heavy car. And we've really got this first lap hooked up, coming into the more twisty section of the track where you'd expect the lightweight car to really start to dominate. And we are looking good through there, a little bit wide from the lightweight car, trying to push a little bit too hard in the corners, try and make up the deficit on the straights. And yeah, again, we are just a little bit behind with the lightweight car. Perhaps it's going to be interesting to try this same lightweight versus high horsepower battle at a different track, perhaps a track where it doesn't quite favour the high horsepower cars, not so many long straights. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see this battle at a different track, but right now the high horsepower car is significantly ahead in this battle right now. And I think this lap on the right hand side is my fastest lap of the entire event. On the right hand side, really stretching our legs now, down to third gear for this sweeping left hander, little clip of the curb, down to second for the right, slightly brushing the curb and get on the power as early as we can. And in this next left hander, just after the 50 board is where we get on the brakes. We're already up and purple on that lap with a really good time actually. So could we be dipping into the 1 minute 34s with this tune? It's feeling good so far, and we are significantly up on the lightweight car. I found the heavy high horsepower car a little bit more tricky to drive, but when you really get dialed into it and start to use the car where it's strong, you can really start to push forwards. And absolutely stonking lap time so far on the right hand side through the kink, the most tricky part of the track now, significantly up on my previous best lap time. And we are just gonna keep it in play on the right hand side there. And we've got traffic ahead now. I'm not sure if that's going to play a role into the, we're a little bit deep on the brakes. That might have compromised that lap time for us on the right hand side. Are we going to sneak past the, yes, we're going to get him done before the final corner of the track. And we're going to clear that Honda NSX without any problem at all, racing to the line. And it's going to be a 1 minute 34.9, absolutely spanking lap time there from the high horsepower car. 1:35.9 for the lightweight car, which is a very respectable lap time. But yeah, that high horsepower car for a reasonably heavy fuel load, second lap out of the pits is a really strong lap time. And it really goes so far to show how dominant this high horsepower car is. Now, I tried this race in doing a one-stop strategy. It is possible, and it certainly is possible if you were to use the lightweight car setup. You would get to the halfway mark on the racing hard tyres. I originally tested it doing a one-stop strategy with the high horsepower car, and I really struggled to get that 8th lap on the tyres before they completely gave up. So that's something I'm going to test in the future. Make sure you're subscribed and have the bell icon notified for that one. I'm going to be completely honest with you here, guys. I didn't mention or do a back-to-back on the middle stint of any of these races because in both of them I made massive mistakes, huge crashes, and we're still going to be in the 25-minute race completion time, skipping forwards to round off this race. This is the final lap of the race, and you can see on the right-hand side, we're just under the Michelin bridge now, and on the lightweight car we're just passing on the Michelin bridge right now. So we've still continued to gain time over the lightweight car. There may be some mistakes, small driver errors here and there, but that happened in both of the runs. So I think for this two-stop sprint race tactics, the lightweight car, it just doesn't really have it. It's very kind of its tyres, it's very good on fuel, but with just about enough time we can make it on fuel and tyres with the lightweight car. I'm going to try and test out the lightweight car doing a one-stop strategy, but in this video the significant clear winner is the high horsepower heavy car. It just cannot be beaten at these long straights of Sardegna World Touring Car 800. On screen right now will be the exact setup I used in the heavyweight car. I'd highly recommend going and testing with this. It feels great to drive. What you can't see is the high RPM turbocharger and ballast and power restrictor. Aside from that, we're good to go. I have recently enabled channel memberships, so go and check that out. There'll be a link for that in the description below. Generally, my content will not change. The same good content will still keep coming and be available completely for free, but consider it like a tip for a waiter or a donation. If you want to just support the channel in some way, then go and check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm looking to try and step things up, improve my sim rig, relocate myself, and just try and go about this in a little bit more professional way. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.